What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So, the Blazers take a 127-102 victory last night at the Moda Center against the Kings. And it just seemed like everybody was on fire offensively. To me, the most impressive man last night was Harry Giles. He just absolutely destroyed his old team. And he's looking real springy, looking real nice right now. Like, he's not looked that I can remember whenever he was with the Kings. He's always been a solid player that I've seen, but last night, on the offensive end and then grabbing rebounds, he was very, very impressive. And to me, he definitely outplayed Enes Kanter last night. There's no doubt in my mind that he should be the guy that gets more minutes than Enes Kanter, but that's just my opinion. But Enes Kanter, he did have a solid game as well. I think he finished with like 11 rebounds and like 6 points or something like that. So he did have a solid performance. But also another man, Carmelo Anthony, looking vintage last night. In the first like 3 minutes of the game that he got in the first quarter, he scored like 10 points right off the bat. And the Blazers were kind of, at that point, they were kind of going back and forth with the Kings, and then he ran off those 10 points, and all of a sudden the Blazers were up 10 in that first quarter. So shouts out to Melo, man. Looks like he's understanding where he should, like, the role that he's going to be in. He's probably going to be the first guy coming off the bench, and I think that's a great role for him. I know he still has a lot left in the tank, and then him being able to come in and do his thing, just focus on offense, I think it's going to do a lot for this team, especially off the bench. Portland never really had a great bench scoring unit, and I think this is going to be one of the first times where they have a very potent bench. So it's like not much of a drop off whenever Dame or CJ or both sit down. You know, in that first quarter, Dame hits a crazy 30-plus footer with two guys on him. So he looks like he's still in the same form that he was in the bubble. So looks like he's gonna be right where he was right before the season ended. Derrick Jones Jr., he made an immediate impact in that first quarter. He scored 8 points, had a plus-minus of 10, and the Blazers ended up taking a 41-36 lead into the second quarter. And pretty much after that, I believe that the defense of the Blazers got a lot better. Let's see. For the Kings, he went off. He did pretty good. He went 9 points, 3 of 5 from the field, and of course, all of those were threes. Barnes, he went 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, had 2 assists and 2 steals. And then Richaun Holmes had a pretty solid first quarter. He goes for 6 points on 2 of 2 from the field. And in that second quarter, this is when Giles really shows off to me. He ended up finishing the half with 8 points, 4 of 4 from the field, and 4 rebounds. And also, it was like him and Gary Trent Jr. pretty much trading off, because Gary goes for 9 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, had 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And then I did notice that the offense kind of stalled for a little bit when they had Simon, CJ Ellaby, Trent Jr., and Giles. But they only had that lineup in for about, I would say, like 3 minutes or so. So I can't really put too much stock on that. I don't think Ellaby's going to get too much more run like he did last night. He ended up playing 29 minutes. That's because Rodney Hood ended up not suiting up, so he got a lot more minutes. And I thought he did really well for a rookie, only having 3 practices in the NBA, you know. So shouts out to CJ Ellaby, man. I think he's going to be a solid guy down the road. And let me see, Simons ended up only playing 8 minutes because he ended up having some sort of hamstring strain. I'm not really sure. I haven't seen any reports about it, but that's what the coach was saying after the game, that kind of had like a hamstring injury. He didn't say which leg or anything, so I didn't see much on it either. Let's see. Dame, he ends up finishing the half with 15 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 or 4 from 3, 3 assists and a turnover. And then for the Kings, Fox, he was not looking good in that first half. He had a plus-minus of -13, finished up with 7 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. Had a rebound, did have 5 assists, but had 3 turnovers, and he had a steal. It was mostly Hield and Barnes that pretty much kept him in the first half. Hield ended up finishing with 16 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3, had an assist and a steal. Barnes finished up with 14, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, had a rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals. And then also Corey Joseph off the bench. He was real reliable in that second quarter. He goes for 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, had a rebound and 3 assists. After that first quarter where they ended up scoring 36, they kind of cooled down, and I think they scored 26 in the second quarter. They ended up finishing 20 of 44 from the field for 46%, 11 of 30 for 37% from 3. They go 11 of 15 from free throw line. They're out 15 assists, grab 19 rebounds, 2 of those offensive. They get 6 steals, 3 blocks, and they have 7 turnovers. For the Blazers, they finish up the first half 26 of 46, 57% from the field, 11 of 20 from 3, 55%, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. They dish out 13 assists, grab 25 rebounds, 3 offensive. They have 3 steals, a block, but they have 10 turnovers, so they were kind of sloppy with the ball in the first half. And they also ended up finishing with 20 assists overall, so the second half got kind of sloppy on both ends, because both ended up having 10 turnovers in that second half. But let me see. Yeah, so the Blazers ended up 72-62 at halftime. In the third quarter, Dame didn't really play too much, so he ended up finishing 15 points, 4 of 7 from the field, a rebound, 5 assists, a turnover, and he ended up with a 14 plus minus. Melo finished up his night in that third quarter as well. He finished up with 21 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 turnovers, a block, and he finished up with a +10 in the plus minus. So excellent game from Melo and Dame, in my opinion. Trent Jr. also had an excellent game. He finished up with 15 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and he finished with a +4. Giles had a double-double in the third quarter. He ended up playing a little bit more the fourth quarter, but to end the third quarter, he finished with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Jones Jr., very impactful. He ended up making 2 threes last night. Ended up going 5 of 5, 13 points, 2 of 2 from 3, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 turnovers, a steal. In that third quarter, I think they only ended up scoring 19 points, the Kings. And it was basically led by Buddy Hield, who had 19 points to end the quarter. The Blazers were up 96-81. Blazers just pretty much could do whatever they wanted to in that second half. And then the defense turned up a lot, I believe. They really couldn't do anything. They were missing a lot of shots, the Kings. So I think Blazers defense is definitely going to be a problem once they get more time under their belts. I mean, just where they are now is pretty telling in my opinion. I know it's only the Kings, but I was pretty impressed with how the Blazers played defense. And that wasn't just like guys like Derrick Jones Jr. and Covington, who they both played excellent defense, but guys like Carmelo, Gary Trent, CJ had a nice little block on one of the guys. That also led to a outlet pass to Derrick Jones Jr. for a dunk. So it wasn't just those two guys. It was a team effort on defense that I liked a lot. In that fourth quarter, Blevins, he comes in at 7:33 because the game's pretty much over. And I think he ended up scoring 2 points. Harry Giles finished up 18 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 14 rebounds, an assist, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He finished up with a plus-minus of +11. So he was killing it out there tonight. And that's the type of stuff that makes you end up taking people's minutes away. You know what I'm saying? If he can replicate that type of stuff every night, playing about 25 minutes a night, sky's the limit for him, you know what I'm saying? And he'll end up outplaying both Zach Collins and Enes Kanter for minutes, you know what I'm saying? If he continues to play like that. Now I want to see a little bit more from him, you know what I'm saying? I want to see if he can replicate that tomorrow night's game against the Kings, and see if he can do it again, you know? Trent Jr. ended up finishing with 18 points, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And as I said before, Simons ended up only playing 8 minutes. He had I don't know if it's a severe hamstring strain or what it was, but I just know it was his hamstring. And he finished up with 3 points, 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, and he had an assist. Jones Jr. and Covington. Jones Jr. finished up with a plus-minus of 19, Covington 21, and I think I pretty much counted like 4 deflections from Covington. And that's the type of stuff that the Blazers have sorely missed, you know what I'm saying? Like the outlet pass to Derrick Jones Jr. We just haven't had athletes like that for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how these two impact the Blazers this year. Like I was saying before, the defense looked much better. They held the Kings to 102 points, 37% from the field, 32% from 3. So everything was clicking on both ends, in my opinion. Like I was saying, the teams both got sloppy with the ball. Blazers ended up with 20 turnovers, Kings 17. Fox finished minus 17. He did get to 10 points, but he had to take 12 shots to get there. He went 3 of 12, went 1 of 7 from 3, had 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, and a steal. Like I was saying, the Blazers ended up holding the Kings to 40 points in that second half. Hield was the guy who led all scorers with 23 points, 8 of 17 from the field, 5 of 11 from 3, an assist and a steal, so he's still looking good. And then Barnes finished with 16 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and 3 steals. So, like I was saying, next game out for the Blazers is against the same Kings. I think both Hassan Whiteside will play, and also for the Blazers, Rodney Hood and Yusuf Nurkic will be playing. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how those two impact the game against the Kings, and then also seeing how Whiteside looks with the Kings, and see what type of inside presence that him being out there gives them, you know what I'm saying? Because Blazers did have a pretty easy time getting to the basket. But that's pretty much all I have for today. This is your boy P Money. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to all my supporters. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I'm off this.